my God. Hey, we are live with the world famous Scott Cruz. Oh my goodness gracious. Hi, Scotty.
World famous for like a population of 2,000.
Scotty boy. Oh my God, I'm so excited
What's
to
up,
see
dude?
you. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been good. How are you been?
Yay. I've been
Yeah.
good. I've been
So you're
good.
so it's nice to see you at the beach. How's it over there? How's the beach?
You still see me at the beach? Oh, see, I
Yeah.
see me with my background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I
I have
saw
the beach
we.
there. That's okay. I like the beach. I'm in the desert, so it works.
I love it. Oh my God,
I
I'm
know.
sharing the shit out of this right now.
Share the shit out of it.
Sharing the shit out of this. Ding ding ding.
See,
Okay,
first caller.
first
First
caller.
caller,
I
huh?
know. Okay, so in because of my cold and my sinus infection and all kinds of crap, so we have shot glasses. So my tribute to Andy Cohen is I will be doing shots of Dayquil, and you will be doing shots of
Oh, just typical Jack.
Jack Daniels.
Yeah. Just
Nice.
typical Jack.
So Scott, okay, so you took me on a tour of your home, which I absolutely love, first of all. And what made you move from first of all, you moved out to California. Let's talk about that. You moved
Yeah.
out to Cali like right after we graduated high school.
Well, actually, yeah, about 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
When I was 20. Yeah, because wanted to get out. I was gonna go to New York actually first, and I'm thinking like, oh, because at the time I was working for Ken Cole. I don't know if you remember that, and I was doing visual merchandising. And
Yes.
they had offered me to do like the whole East Coast of the stores, which was pretty cool. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to California. So, but yeah, my uncle's out here. He's like, you guys should come. You should definitely come. Me and a friend of mine should come to LA if you definitely want to pursue your art. And of course, now it's so common people do that. But even I think 20 years ago it was common. But I'm like, yeah. So I've never been to LA, but why not? If I want to be around similar-minded people, spiritual, creative, musicians and so forth. So,
Fake teeth.
so yeah, and I just want to get the fuck out of Florida. What?
I was like fake teeth.
Fake teeth.
Yeah,
My teeth are real, bitch.
no, everyone has veneers in like California. It's like a thing, right? Everyone's got like these like fake teeth. No,
It's not a
maybe?
thing. No,
Like everyone
no.
has
Maybe
fake
maybe on
boobs?
TV.
Yeah.
Maybe on TV. I don't. I don't know. I didn't notice that. But
Well, you have nice
I mean, but
teeth.
you definitely see like 20-something-year-olds walking around with Botox. That's for sure. You see that. Lip injections at 20. I've seen guys do lip injections. That's
Lip
common, too.
injections at 20. What do you need a
Yeah,
lip?
I've seen like they get Botox in their like late 20s, early 30s. I think too.
That's kind of weird.
It's LA.
It's
It's LA.
so you lived in LA for how long? And tell me about your time in LA.
I lived 18 years. Great. Look, let me tell you something. You know me. Like, no matter where I go, I can make it a great spot. Great energy. I don't need certain things to have fun. So I definitely had fun. Got started my music composing. In LA. So composing for TV and film. Developed my spiritual work and practicing with my metaphysical stuff. And also, I played in a band and sang House of Blues. Blah 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 blah. So I've done a lot of great stuff. In LA, with both aspects of my career. So it has a special spot in me. But as time went on, I started to realize what LA really is energetically, and it's a very heady transactional place.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that's why after a while, when I started craving actual meaningful relationships at my age and not so career focused, I realized this isn't the place for that. And so that's why I decided to move. And COVID was a blessing to realize that too. I'm like, I don't really like it here anymore, and so it's time for a change.
Yeah.
Now, it's not to say I'm telling people to not move there, because it may be great for someone to get the ball rolling in their life and so forth. So, but for being there 18 years, though, you start wanting different things. And I did.
That leads us to our first shot of the night. Cock. Different strokes.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
But that. Wait.
So here's the
But
thing. I figure, like,
Yeah.
with COVID and everything, you know, you moved from LA because you wanted a change of cock, change of scenery. Look, here we go. Here's my shot ski.
I came out of nowhere. Okay.
Here we go. With my
There's a
dick.
pain in the cock. Here we go.
Pain in the cock. Here we go.
Mm.
God, I love Dayquil. I'm telling you what. Look at. So I love your house. I'm obsessed. Like it's
You said apartment first.
It's minimalistic. It's very modern. It's very cool. I'm digging
Very
this.
clean.
It is. It's
Clean.
very clean. Very clean.
Yeah, it's very clean.
Gosh, we are so
But you know,
inappropriate, and I love that about us.
yes, but we have to. Didn't we say what the secret word is that we have to drink to? Did we say that yet? Did you let your audience know?
Wasn't it cock?
Yeah, but I think they didn't know, they didn't hear that, so we have to make sure we understand that is the word to drink to.
Oh, okay. So when we say cock,
Take a shot.
take
For
a
the cock.
shot. Shots for cock.
You know, you could also just call me Scott.
Stocky cock? Shit.
Stock instead of Scott. Stock.
Stock?
That makes you drink more. Yeah.
Do I have
stock.
to drink enough? I can't drink more Dayquil. I'll probably. It says on the back. Listen, it says on the back of the disclaimer. This can damage your liver if you drink more than the maximum daily allowance.
Maybe if you're gonna abuse it the right way. Just use alcohol. Same thing.
Know. I mean, let me tell you something. I don't know, but I cannot believe it's been so long since you moved out there. I can remember the complete inappropriate things we used to do in high school, which I absolutely loved. Most of which happened in Miami. You and I, like, going and doing crazy trips in Miami, which was awesome. One in particular I remember quickly before we get into this. Do you remember when you had me go on a blind date with you?
Go on a blind date with me?
Yes. You were too afraid to go on the blind date alone, so you were like, Janine.
Me?
Yeah. You gotta
I
have a
always
weird.
go on blind dates.
You had a weird vibe. Yeah, you met this dude, and it was a really weird vibe. And so remember, he worked at Bal Harbor, and you were like, Janine, we have to pick him up from work and take him home, and we had to drive to Bal Harbor.
What?
And pick. You don't remember this? We had to pick him up, and he was talking like the whole time, and it was really weird. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
What do you look like?
Not that attractive, and so that's why you had me go with you.
That's why I don't remember. Next.
He was not very cute, but I did go with you, and we laughed all the way from. We picked that motherfucker up from Bal Harbor, from Lake Worth or Boca to Bal Harbor, and then we took him home, and he lived in like Hialeah in the middle of nowhere.
What a cock! Ah!
Cock. Oh, Dayquil's yummy. You don't remember that at all?
I don't remember that, no. But I mean, if you said he was unattractive, wasn't cute, that's probably why I don't remember.
He was dressed well because he worked at some high-end place in Bal Harbor, like Valentino.
Well, of course he did.
He wore like a nice suit and stuff like that, but.
Well, that's probably why we went on a date with him, see if I can get one myself.
Do you remember my fondest memory? One of them of us is you walking. I think it was down Collins Avenue. You went around the crosswalk with your pants.
I remember that.
With your pants like on your ankles.
I remember that.
What was that about?
That I remember. You know, here's the thing. Like, I grew up with people very repressive, right? I grew up with a Christian church and very strict. And it's like, for me, it's always like, people need to loosen the hell up. And so, you know, for me, it's just like, I enjoy being free. I enjoy breaking the boundaries or crossing the boundaries. You know, I enjoy breaking the rules per se, because people need to loosen up. You know, even with my clients, the one thing I tell my clients to be is true to themselves, right? Very simple message, very cliche message, but it's true. If you cannot be true to yourself and be free in your own spirit, then how the hell are you going to live your life? You know, so for me, at that time, Judy, you know, I was very repressed because of my sexuality at that time, what I was going through. The one thing I wanted to be was free and not be in the eyes of people, you know, judgment in other people's eyes. So I just want to be free. So, of course, like, pushing the boundary, hell yeah. You know?
I push boundaries.
No shame. What?
I push boundaries too, Scotty. My
Oh,
little
yeah, you
Scotty.
do. You do.
I remember you gave someone a BJ in my bedroom.
Excuse me?
You totally did. I remember the person you gave it to, actually.
Rodell?
Yes! Oh my god. We had like just graduated, or we were about to graduate, or didn't we go to like some I don't know. It was so much fun. Can we just go back to like can we just go back to those days?
Well, what makes you think that I gave it?
Didn't you?
I guess you'll never know, huh?
I can ask him. He's married though.
Is he? Yeah, I haven't seen.
He's married.
Connected with him.
Yeah, he's married.
Good for him.
Yeah, he is. To
a
another
guy, right?
Michael. To another Michael who's adorable.
Oh, wow.
So cute. I
That's
went to
a
their
good friend.
wedding.
That's
I went
great
to their
friend.
wedding in DC back in 2000 when it wasn't legal
Oh,
in
that's cool.
Florida. Yeah, it was really great, and I loved both of them, and it was fantastic.
That's wonderful. That's great. Good
Yeah.
friend. That's great. It's fantastic.
So you,
I mean, I love seeing people be happy and finding their matches. It's a wonderful thing.
I know, I'm so happy, and literally, you are a musician. You are a clairvoyant. You are a singer, songwriter, a performer. You are just about everything in one. And
You see, when you say that, it kind of like people think it kind of invalidates what I do. It's like, oh, he does all these things. He probably does all those things very crappy. Because if they think he does all these things, he must not be very good at all those things.
well, they
to
can
be able
suck
to do all
cock.
the things. But yeah, I mean, here we go again.
Here we go again. Oh, cock.
So yes, these things I've been doing in my life, I have been doing since I was a child, and I was always intuitive in school.
Always,
you know that.
always.
And always predicting things, and but it's same thing with music. It's something I've been doing since I was a kid. So I had time to develop that. I had time to develop my vocal performances, my scoring, my arrangements, my compositions, my production skills, my mixing. I had so much time to develop that. And so if you think about it, I'd spent so much time developing my skills in music and my skills in spirituality and metaphysics. Then you think that, well, shouldn't he be more famous by now? And that's the point. It's like, well, I spent a lot of time building that. So fame wasn't anything. And I think I used to say to you, I'm not interested in reaching fame. That's a side effect of when you do a good job, right? I'm not reaching for fame. I'm reaching for success and self-fulfillment, right? So I spent all the time developing these skills. So if fame comes or doesn't come, I don't think that's really much of a indication of what I've learned and growth.
Fame is a byproduct. That's a byproduct. It doesn't.
Yeah, but a lot of people get it where they want it. They want that fame, and so that, of course, they're able to manifest it very quickly. It hasn't been a focus for me.
Has a focus been sexy men?
Self-development.
Oh. Sex.
When is that not a focus?
I know. I'm telling you what. I am telling you.
I'm Latino. We're very.
I know. I know you are. So,
and my Italian side is romanticism too. You know what I mean? So it's like always. I love the beauty of a male energy.
I know. I remember that guy you dated in Miami for a while. He was so sweet. You remember him? Talking Nelson.
Oh, Nelson.
Whatever happened to Nelson? Whatever happened?
I don't know. I think I found him on Facebook. I think.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. I
He
think
was
so.
so sweet.
I had a few. Facebook has been like reconnecting people from the past, which has been very cool. Very interesting.
So.
Some people I'm like, oof, what happened?
No, Scott, you look gorgeous. So I'm looking at this.
Not me. I'm not saying me. I'm talking.
Oh, people can shove it up their cock.
No. I'm saying I've seen people. I'm like, oof, what happened? I'm saying I've seen that. Like they've either went on the deep end somehow.
Yeah. I mean, thank God we're still hot.
Healthy. Is the word.
Well,
Thank God we're so healthy.
But healthy can be hot too, right?
Healthy is hot. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm hot. I think I'm healthy. I mean, if you keep yourself healthy, you keep yourself hot.
Well, I'm sick right now drinking Dayquil. What does that make me?
That makes you sick on Dayquil.
Okay. But am I still healthy?
Overall, yeah. Temporarily, you're having a little bit of a bump.
Okay. Oh my God. So
you having a bump? Right now you have a bump in the cock. Oh, shot.
Oh shit! Here we go. Oh, God, I love Dayquil. Okay,
well,
so
let's not bore these people with our past, right?
oh, This is not boring. This is about you and me. That's what this is all about. So
yeah, but I'm
okay.
saying for them, these people might not care about what we do.
Yes, they do. We're fabulous.
Do they?
Yes.
Y'all care? Y'all care about this shit?
So you're a prolific songwriter, a producer, composer, all
She
this,
read my bio. She read my bio.
all this fun stuff, right? And you also, you know, you've always created music. In fact, you've been creating music since I've known you. You've been writing your own music from day one through all of this. You've been writing your own songs. How many albums do you actually have? Ooh.
Out there? Songs. I have there's about like 220. A lot, you know, maybe like I have like 50 or 60 fully completed, then I have some that are like half done or not completed, and I have ideas. So, I mean, my library is very intense. I mean, I've only put out 7 songs. I didn't want to put out that stuff. I put out songs I said, this is what I want to put out, when I really wanted to put it to the public. And that started back in 2015. I was exploring genres. I was having fun. I mean, I was doing hard rock and all this other type of genres. I'm like, I don't want to release this stuff. And so the stuff I've done now that I have out now is stuff I want to like really show the world what I do as an artist. And so eventually I'll release some of that older stuff. But
so where can people find your music?
iTunes and Spotify, Amazon.
Okay, they just look up Scott Cruz. They can find all of your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And most importantly, when are you coming to visit me?
I ain't going back to that cesspool. You're coming here.
Your state's still closed.
It's open. We're not closed. We're open. We're like open at 50%. You can still travel here. We're open.
50%.
Bars are open. It's just they have certain parameters, but we're open.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So also,
and you've never been here before. You've never seen this before.
No,
I've been to Florida.
I know. It's insane. So I have to come see you. You don't hate Florida.
Yes.
Why do you? When's the last time you were in Florida?
14 years ago.
Oh my God.
I know. So my parents moved. My parents are sick of Florida too. They moved here.
That's right. When did your parents move out there?
Like 6 years ago.
Wow. And they love it?
Yeah, so they're close. Yeah, they love it. I mean, they were in Los Angeles as well, and they moved there in the Valley.
Uh-huh.
And so I was in Hollywood Hills, and so when I left, I'm like, I knew they were gonna follow because my dad was not liking LA. They couldn't stand the people there because my parents are very warm, right? So imagine putting warm people and people who are just very, detached. They weren't having it. So they moved down to the desert, close about half an hour from me, and they love it. The people are nice and, friendly, and they're really enjoying that.
They're the best.
Yeah, they've got even more kooky, in a good way. Like my dad's hysterical. Like he's a riot. My mom's the same thing. Like they're just really funny. It's like they've gotten better with age. They've gotten more warm and loving and more fun. They're having more fun now. So it's nice to grow older with them as they're getting more open and stuff. So it's fun. It's nice.
I love it. I have to come out there, if anything, to see you and your parents. We all have to go out to dinner. But I'm so excited because you are so talented, and I've been listening to your music forever. But I also have witnessed you tapping into your spiritual side, even when we were in high school. You've always had that sixth sense, if you will, when it came to being a medium, being clairvoyant, kind of seeing things.
Mm-hmm.
You've always done that. And from back as early as I can remember, you've always tapped into that. So when you moved out to LA and you were really heavily focusing on your music career, when did you kind of tap back into that, or did you always tap into it and you just strengthened it or studied it more? I mean, how did that work?
Well, I mean, I had some shitty experience, not shitty, but I had very challenging experiences as a kid with it. Having a house with a poltergeist in it, with things that you cannot explain. And my family is very machismo. I got my mom was hardcore Italian, my dad's hardcore Puerto Rican, and so like you don't talk about these things. They happen, you don't talk about it, you dust yourself off and move along. People think you're crazy. And so we've had some really intense experiences happen in the house I grew up in, like doors shaking like this, and yeah. I mean, because you don't talk about it. Because you're crazy if you talk about those things. Who's gonna believe you? And so I had like sheets ripped off my bed. I've had like just things breaking, just chaos, right?
That's insane.
And so people would come and visit the house. They'd run out of the house. Oh my, seeing what they saw, heard something, or something was moving, something fell, something my brother had a remote control car, a shelf of remote control cars. And he woke up screaming one night, Dad, Mom, Dad, come in there. And we go in there, and the car's moving back and forth by itself. So my dad's like, okay, well, maybe you left it on. And so he goes and goes and turn it off, and he's like, there's no batteries in it. And the tires are turning, like this, and it's moving, and then it just shut off, whatever.
So you had like a paranormal activity experience. Was this down south or in New York?
This was back in Jersey.
In Jersey.
Okay.
So
in the East Coast, yeah. So I'd wake up with scratches and bruises. I actually woke up with scratches and bruises until my early 20s.
That's insane. So were your parents, did they experience the same things?
Not so much on the level I have, but they experienced it. They were able to witness and be a partaking of what's going on in the house. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of, so many events to describe. It's like, especially one day I was waking up and stuffed up myself. I was waking up and like in the middle of the night, just woke up and I see like these prints on my bed, like what the fuck? And then my sheets got ripped off of me and I just like jumped up and got the hell out of there. I had these blinds that were these pull down blinds in my room. I had four windows, and then every now and then they would just go up, like in order. And we had a basement door that would just shake like crazy every night, like this, not like from wind. This shit was like someone is like this, like very fucking violently. And so after a while, my dad would just open the door, like, come on in, So yeah, we have a lot of shit. Pots exploding for no reason. We downstairs. You hear people like running upstairs and like something fall and roll, and there's nothing up there.
Wow, I had no idea. I had no idea.
Another thing was daily is that the woman died in the house that they bought it from. So we'd be sitting in a room somewhere, and you just get this whiff of perfume, only this perfume that just float right by you. Everybody just be, even people who didn't know what was going on there, they'd be like, "You smell perfume?"
Wow.
It's like a mist that just blows by you. So, yeah, that's called a poltergeist. Meaning now, a poltergeist is somebody or is an entity that is created from a person who has abilities, but has been
school us, please.
Who's gone through tragedy. And so, I did go through a little bit of a traumatic experience. So I had a little bit of trauma. I'm not going to get into that, but so my abilities were being kind of expressed outwardly to a degree that was causing some sort of chaos in the household and in the environment around it, because that was kind of how my negative energy was being expressed. And of course, because of that, then we're picking up on the haunting per se of the woman that died in the house. And so it was a lot of dynamic there, and so it continued when I moved into the next house. It was happening there, and so it kept following me, and I realized, okay, is this being following me? And then something in my early 20s, mid 20s, I'm like, what if it's me? Right? If like you have all these problems with all these people and you're the one denominator, maybe you're the problem, right? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm creating this energy. And so I went through some sort of like a mild possession. A friend was there to kind of, calm me down. And, a lot of friends were seeing black figures in my house. They would see black shadows. And I'm like, really? And like, yeah. And they get creeped out by it. And so I had these sliding doors too that were on like a closet sliding doors that were probably 2 feet off the ground and like a shelf sliding doors and built into a wall. I left for like 5 minutes out of my house and came back in, and those doors were taken off the racks and leaning against another wall. I'm like, how'd that happen? Who did that? So that's when I started realizing maybe it's my own energy. So then I cleansed myself. I cleansed myself of the past traumas, everything like that. And I took responsibility for this energy of feeling like I'm being attacked by something when it was really my past victimizations coming to fruition in the current day. When I cleared that, it stopped. It all stopped.
That's insane.
So now I tell my clients, I had many clients come to me like they think they're haunted by a spirit or some spirit attached to them. I'm like, no, it's you. And I work with their trauma. We remove the trauma and they're done. They don't have these experiences any longer. And they've all too, they would wake up with scratches and bruises and so forth. What you have to understand is the mind is what is dictating your reality. So if you're having trauma and that is built up within you and that energy is getting somehow projected into the outer world, it's going to manifest somehow. That energy is going to crystallize and come to a solid form somehow. So sometimes it would be slapping on you, whatever the case is, because you believe you're being attacked. So you'll manifest evidences of that based on that trauma. So that's why I work with the trauma with my clients to eliminate that and to eliminate the fear, realize it's their own fears coming to manifestation. And when they realize this, then it all stops. All that activity, ceased to happen.
That is amazing, Scott. I had no idea that even happened. Like
Mm-hmm.
and I remember you were so intuitive. You would say things like, "I feel this" or "I feel that," and I'd be like, "What do you mean you feel something?" Like I didn't know what that. I mean, I knew I felt another presence. I felt that you knew what you were talking about, and normally, when things would communicate or beings would communicate with you, it seemed like it would happen and manifest it in a way that you said it would. And then
Yeah.
I turn on the TV and look who's on the Housewives of Orange County. Scott Cruz. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, oh. I'm like, Tamra Judge, Scott Cruz. I'm like, how the hell did this happen? How the heck did that happen?
Yeah, the thing I wanted to keep secret, no secret no more, right? The thing I wanted to keep to myself and end up staying to myself because, I decided because I was having a lot of anxiety in my 20s, like massive anxiety and like my late 20s. I'm like, what is this coming from? Then I realized, long story short, that anxiety was created because I was suppressing that aspect of myself. I was hiding it back, right? I wasn't expressing it. I wasn't being true to myself. So in a sense, I was kind of killing myself. So therefore, the anxiety was being manifested because of that. So I said, let me own this shit. Let's give readings. Let's do this, right? And so what I did is that, I felt like an urge to go on Facebook, create a page for this, like a spiritual page, and just do readings for people for free. And just see what their testimonies. Now, I was doing readings on the side privately, like parties. I would do it privately, just one-on-one. I was not doing it to to post a page and stuff like that. I did it in my own life privately with people who wanted, on the side. So I was always doing it. So, but when I did it that way, then long story short, I read it in person. He was blown away. He's like, I know someone you should definitely reach. She'll need you right now. And it happened to be Tamara. And so we connected and she was blown away and we, developed a nice rapport. She was going through issues at that time. So we didn't even talk about the show. I was not interested. I don't watch it. So I don't fucking care what goes on in the fucking reality show. And I told her I don't care. That's that. I want to help her personally. And as I did. And then she shared me on her page. Oh, this man's amazing. And then all of a sudden I was getting hit by like hundreds of people, like to the point where I had to like hire an assistant to get her to book I was booked 3 months in advance because she just shared that, and so then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm making this public. So I got a website together, a booking system, all that stuff I got together. And which is weird is right after I got that together, and I started taking my own clients as well, then she asked me to be on the show. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do something like that, dude. Like, I'm not really feeling that. Like, I don't want to go all that with it. She's like, oh, come on, it'll be fun. You read the girls and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but I know how those shows work. And I'm like, I don't know. I said, let me think about it, So I thought about it. I'm like, Scott, do something, get out of your box. Do something you wouldn't do, and just go for it. Like, own it. Like, I told her, I said, all right, I'll do it. So I went on not knowing, like, I don't know the girls, I don't know the story. She didn't, people want to say that she confided in me about the show. No. She was going through at that time a custody battle. She had bigger issues to deal with than the show that wasn't filming at that time when I was talking to her.
So you knew nothing about these women who I've stalked for years. I've watched all the Housewives. The OC is my favorite by far. But
I think the only name I knew was like Vicky or something at that time.
Vicky.
I just knew it like Vicky being like one of her friends from the show or something like that. I just vaguely remember her at that time telling me about like Vicky and they were close and then they weren't close or something like that. And I remember tapping into the friendship and that's it. I didn't get into depths of that because I figured in my mind, I wouldn't tell her that. I was like, it's just all fucking drama. Like, whatever. So I went on. And then I didn't know what to expect. I asked the questions and we were there for about 3 hours or something like that. Read Megan, the way they edited me with, not Megan, with, I forgot the other woman that was on the show. Heather? Is that her name? Heather. Right. I forgot her name. I read her longer than that. The way they cut me up, it looked like I was such a stupid medium. Oh, your grandmother said you're tight-knit weaved, and oh yeah.
The way they edit things is so bizarre,
I went more in depth and just like they wanted to go for the tearjerker, I guess, with that. But I was a little more specific than that. But I'm like, whatever. But then when they got to the fact about they asked about this guy Brooks, and so now that's not a prediction. That's me tapping into a current energy. That's me being remotely viewing a circumstance based on the persona they presented to me energetically, so I can hop into that data, right? So when I did, I'm like, I immediately saw deception, the word deception, and like the big X in my mind.
Wow.
And so I sat there for a moment. Of course, I hate this shot, like me, humba. They showed that shot, but I'm sitting there thinking because I'm like, wait a minute, because At that time, I just lost my best friend of brain cancer. At that time, my uncle was battling with blood cancer. At that time, my sister was going through breast cancer. At that time, my cousin was also struggling with ovarian cancer. So for me, that thing hit me hard. So I'm like, this isn't real. This is fucking fake.
So you knew it was totally fake because you were dealing with real things
there.
on your own.
I didn't see it there because when it gave me the energy and I read his energy, I'm like, the body's not there. It doesn't have it. This cancer's not in his body. I don't see it in there. So now, granted, I was like in a specific zone. Like I wasn't even thinking about this at all because usually I wouldn't have done a health assessment live like that. I wouldn't have made a personal health assessment about somebody to other people. I find that to be unethical. However, it was already brought on the show, so I had anxiety about it. But people were like, he brought it on the show. He told people on the show, so it's not like you invented something that no one didn't know. I was like, okay, so I feel better if he brought it on the show. And then, and if it is a lie, I said one of two ways can happen. If I'm completely batshit crazy out of my mind, well, that's just gonna make me look like shit. Or if it's real, which I know it is, then it's just gonna validate me, but also expose something that needs to be exposed. Plain and simple with that. So
that was like the biggest scandal to ever rock the Housewives. I mean, that was just nuts. Falsification of documents. Like, it was insane what unfolded after that.
It's funny. They're still posting about it. Someone just tagged me, a Bravo blog just tagged me saying the other day saying, a lot of psychics got a lot of credit except for me. I deserve a lot more credit, she was saying. I thought that was very sweet. I mean, I didn't do it for credit. I didn't do it for exposure. I did it to get out of my fucking box. And boy, did I get out of my box on that, right?
Cock!
But, I mean... Oh! It was full! My cup pre-came all over the place.
Oh my God! What am I gonna do with you?
So, a lot. But
oh shit!
So I had a lot of anxiety after that, dude. It was like something.
Really?
I'm like, what the? I was driving home, like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, what the fuck just happened here? And so I trust my gut. I trust my insight, my intuition. It's never wrong. But your human side's like, dude, what if you're fucking out of your mind? That always, to this day, that happens when I'm like doing my sessions. And I'm bam, 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 bam. I'm still like, am I out of my mind? Because your brain can't process that intellect. Your brain's like, where's this shit coming from? It's not logical. But my spirit's like, shut the fuck up, brain. Here's the information, right?
So did you have like?
So I'm still
celebrities like overnight calling you, going, "Can you give me a reading?" Blah 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 blah.
No, because I don't welcome that. I don't welcome that. I didn't want a TV show for that.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. Actually, and that was I think Lisa Renner, one of the Beverly Hills girls wanted me to go on to see if that Yolanda chick was faking. And I said,
that's right.
I said, I know who asked me that. I said, I am not interested. No.
That's right.
I'm not interested in that. I will not be that dude. I will not be that dude. That's not why I went on the first time. I'm not going to do it again. And people say I was set up for and one for fame, like people who are just haters. I'm like, how come I never posted about it? It's nowhere on my websites. I didn't say I've seen on or whatever. I didn't do that shit. I didn't do any marketing and I did nothing about it. That was a point in my life that obviously I need to get out of my own box when I'm relevant. And, but that also propelled me to do more life coaching instead of prediction-based stuff because it really made me want to change things in a positive way. So that's when I kind of started altering to do more life coaching, using my intuition to help people to really take control of their lives because the future is not set in stone. People always want to know the future, but it can be changed. What if you're coming to me for reading and you're on a really bad trajectory and your future sucks? Do you want to hear that prediction? No, of course you don't want to hear that prediction. I got to change. You want to help you change to another trajectory so you can have the predictions that you want. So people think that every time they go to a psychic, their prediction what they want is always there. It's not there. I get a lot of people where they have nothing there.
Wow.
Because, if you're not focusing on anything in your life and you want something, you don't focus on it. You don't do anything to engage with it mentally or spiritually. It's not going to happen. You got to desire something. You got to project your energy to it in order for it to manifest.
The momentum.
In order to manifest, right? And then you take the action. You take the inspired action to get it done. But a lot of these people just want to sit back and just have some sort of fortune teller tell them how good their life is when they do nothing. It doesn't work. It does not work that way. And I'm the first one to tell these people.
Your life is fabulous. You lay on the couch all day.
Right? My hands are coming while I'm farting. Oh, look, my pitch is sweating. But there's only on the couch to check my I'm gonna track my man farting on the couch. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's gonna love you for that.
So have you ever had people like that come to you and want to read it, and you're like, I see nothing?
Yeah. No, I did. I would actually cancel them. I would say, I'm not taking you. I'll give them a refund. Oh, absolutely. I said, no, that's not what I do. You don't understand. I said, if you don't know about this field, don't book a session. You know what I'm saying? Don't book a session. If you have no clue what you're walking into, don't book a session. Because I'm not one of these dial-a-psychics for $5.99 a minute, whatever you do, to fucking just read your fucking cards. I'm going deeper there. I'm telling you how to create your life and give you the truth of what your life is about.
You're like, I'm not Miss Cleo. I'm not Miss Cleo.
No. Call me now. You're Leo, aren't you, darling? But no, I mean, that's the most upsetting, because what these people don't realize that through their fear and pain, they're actually exploiting someone's ability.
People are
ignorant. And over time, people were starting to exploit me because of that. And I got sick of going out in public. Read me. I'm like, what makes you think I want to? And so one guy I actually on a bar, he's like, well, read me. I said, oh yeah, and I read him and told him, I said, so your grandmother's actually connected with you because you've been connected with her for the past 2 weeks, I said. And I said, I know you're wearing the charm that she gave you. He pulled it out and he goes, oh my God, you're freaking me out. And he ran it. I said, well, you wanted it.
Seriously, it's like, don't ask for something unless you want to.
Right.
Don't ask for it. Like, are you?
Right. But that's why I altered my work, though, because I really want to hit people who really are very passionate with their lives, who want to make change, and really want to know how to really manifest their lives and what's really going on.
So what's your typical day, Scott? What does Scott Cruz do on a typical day? Like, what do you do from when you wake up to when you go to bed?
Well, I jerk off. No, I'm kidding.
Other than shit and like drink coffee or whatever.
And jerk off.
And jerk
off. I was kidding, but I'm not kidding. But I'm kidding, but I'm not. No. Well, right now I'm actually working on a film. I'm scoring a film, and so I've been doing that and sound. So that has been, I haven't been booking my clients. I need to focus on the film. So I just kind of wrapped it up a little bit. It's an indie film. I mean, COVID, there's been no work in the entertainment space because of COVID, and so it's been very, very, very bare, minimal. So I took this project because I actually think it would be great. I think there's also something to take during COVID. Mm-hmm. So I've been working on that. And so my clients are kind of, I only have regulars. I don't have it open to the public. That's not how I do that work. So I'm keeping it for my clients, my regulars. And so they have I have a members only website on my page on my website where they can use the booking system to book. And so when I'm not working on a film, I take probably 2 or 4 clients a day. I used to do 5 a day. So I just do my own leisure.
As a life coach, not as a medium, as a life coach, right?
Well, I'm a medium. I use my medium and intuition, my intuitive abilities to read and assess my clients to understand how to channel the information. Because the thing that amazes me all the time, I'm actually solving people's problems without being a licensed therapist per se, right? Or not going to school for being a therapist and so forth. But I'm solving their problems. It's like that's where the mediumship comes into. Because you can channel spirit from that, but you channel intellect. Every situation I can tackle, like I know how to tackle it. And I tackle it. And every client, every session, I'm always amazed that I understand how to tackle it. I can view their life and view them in their past trajectory, current trajectory, future trajectory, and know what's going on and how to format the information for them. So, in a sense, people don't realize that the information and the guidance I'm giving them is being channeled through my mediumship abilities. Because there's no logical way with the experiences I'm able to guide people through and solve their problems, I'd be able to do it logically because I wasn't trained in it.
Interesting.
So I've used that mediumship abilities to write music, to learn how to do music. People are, how can you compose? How do you know how to compose and do all these aspects? Well, I said, I kind of channeled it.
And you manifested it. You can create anything you set your mind to, and it really is true. You manifest and everything is created. Everything you create your reality.
Even the negative, but even the negative too.
Even the negative. 1,000% create the negative. Absolutely.
So what people need to understand, it's got to be done in your mind first, and then the inspired action happens to manifest. And the action is supposed to be an easy, enjoyable part. So when you keep forcing shit with action, it ain't going to get done. You might as well just put your hands down and just put the flag. It has to be all resolved in your mind first. It's the final product's going to be done in here so you know what it is. And then the inspired action, you're like, I need to do this, I need to do that. You just know what to do after that. People try to do without actually knowing, and it's like putting the cart before the horse. It doesn't work.
So if someone wanted to become your client, are you taking on new clients or are you not because of the movie?
Only referrals. I'm only taking referrals. So like blindly, no. So if it's referred to by a good friend of mine or referred to me by a client, I have a look at it. I now ask them specific things about what they're looking for to see if I'm actually a match for them. Because again, a lot of people just want me to read a crystal ball, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I can do that, but that's not the point of this. So if people are looking for just that and don't want to empower themselves, I decline. I say I can't help you because you can't help those people. They don't want help. They want pacification.
So true.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not here to pacify you. I went through my own traumas with my own strength and power to pass. I never got pacified. I'm not going to pacify you.
Interesting.
No. And people have to understand if they're one that they want to be pacified, so they need to look at their upbringing. And if I tap into that, they're going to curse me to death. And I've had them curse me to death. I bring out the truth. I had this one woman write a review for me. I'm mad because I told her when I read her at that time, this woman was depressed. She was doing nothing but making excuses about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, you know what? And I said, you guys. I was trying to tell her to change her mentality. I was pulling out her triggers, how she needs to change the triggers. I mean, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of information. You know, these are what is triggering you to be this way. If you did this to change it, you actually would have a different perspective, and things will change. I gave her all that information. She was like, well, I came from my future. What's happening in my future? I said, I'll tell you what's happening in your future. Nothing. You don't have love in your future. And matter of fact, in 1 year down the road in your trajectory, you're in the same position, my love. I said, the same position you're going to be in. I said, because you refuse to change anything. Guess what? She wrote me a review 1 year later saying, he's not a psychic. He's more of a life coach. He told me that how to work with my mind. And he says that nothing's going to happen in my love life or in my career. And here I'm a year later, and things are worse. That's what I told her. So she just, in her complaining, just admitted what I said to her is where she's at that year.
Wait, she said that a year later things were worse. So
she said nothing's gonna happen and things got worse. I'm like, exactly, that's what I told you. She admitted in her complaint that I was correct.
What?
Because she did not hear that she's gonna be so wonderful and all these great things are coming in her life. She didn't hear that. So therefore I'm not a psychic to her.
Unbelievable.
There's a lot of people like that, Janine. There's a lot of people out there like that, and they will blame you for their problems. I got blamed because I wanted to help. I got blamed for all their problems. This didn't occur because you didn't tell me.
Interesting.
I will never deal with people like that because those people don't change. The only way they'll change is people just shut them out. That's the sad truth of the reality.
That's right.
I won't do it, and I'm not gonna have you compromise my reputation because you're a dumb nut that doesn't have any knowledge about things. You know, and when I say dumb nut, those people are deliberately doing that. The people who are unaware come to me and they're so open. They're so, some people do it and they're not aware of that. They're so open and they're beautiful to work with. I'm talking about the people who deliberately do that. And they deliberately use people like me to feed their ego.
Of course they do.
Those are the dumb nuts I'm talking about. But there are many people who don't realize it. They come, and when they get the information, you see them light up. Like, oh my God, and they have that aha moment. That's awesome. And that gives me chills every day when I have those type of experiences. And I see the light go off in their head. You know what I mean? Oh, that's amazing. That makes you fucking say, see, when that happens, that makes you say there's nothing else that matters right now.
I love
because that's, number one, that's true connection, right? I'm connecting with that person. Two, they're connecting to their spiritual energy, which is the God that we're all connected to.
Correct.
You know how amazing that is for me to see? Oof.
Wow. You read me the other day. You read me, a month ago? I was sobbing like a baby. I did not expect that. That was not in the, I did not, that was above and beyond. It was amazing. It was absolutely.
It wasn't a reading. It was a skimming for you. I just skimmed for you.
Well, I lost it and I was crying and it was very powerful and very emotional and it made my whole day. And I think that you have to be open to that. And you have to be willing to receive. I think if people are not willing to receive
with anything,
with
anything, if you want to learn how to play a video game, you got to be open to learning to it,
That's right?
If you're not open, you're not going to learn how to play. You won't learn. So that goes with anything. It's not just spirituality. You got to be open to everything you partake in. You have to be open to. If you want to develop insight about it, right?
Yeah. If you want to suck cock, you got to try it. You got to practice it.
There we go.
Cock and balls.
And I've had a lot of experience practicing. Let me tell you.
Me too. So I wrote these questions down, totally like random, that I thought were fun. Okay, so if you could pick a theme song to describe where your life is at right now, what song would you choose?
Wicked Game.
Ooh, Wicked Game. That's a great song.
Uh-huh.
What a
That's
wicked
it's
game.
time.
You want to sing a little excerpt? Because I certainly can't sing.
I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love.
Hot!
No,
Nice!
I don't wanna fall in love with you.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
yummy.
I'm,
That's so...
I'm, I'm in a really, I'm in a very crazy mental headspace this past month.
Yeah, how's dating life?
Unexplainable.
How's dating life for you, Mr. Cruz? No.
No, I just, oh shit, I think my headphones are gonna die soon, but hopefully you'll still hear me. If it goes off. My dating life is my dating life. I just started opening up to it. You know, I've been very, not really trying, so I'm opening up to it. So I'm in a very interesting situation for myself. I think that I've tapped into something that, a lot of us tend to tap into someone's soul versus the actual presentation. And I got wrapped into someone's soul and not the presentation. So I'm kind of battling with that a little bit.
I understand, and...
Just go for the bottle, Scott.
Just go. Just go. Here we go.
Speaking, that's very, very actually, it's suiting for what I'm talking about.
I love it. No, I understand. And what keeps you moving forward? Like, what keeps you going? I mean,
because when you love something or someone or some situation or you're into it, I mean, love is not just in love. Love is just like, I love my hat. I love my, my place. I love my dog. So sometimes you can like love people and just love the person for what you're seeing in the energetic space. And as an intuitive, and an empath, it makes it harder. I mean, I have the mediumship and intuitive and then the empath energy. It's a lot. I can get a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I have a person, I've gotten situations where people are fearful of me, like fearful to get involved. I've had that happen like 3 times now in a row. And, they feel threatened or insecure or a fear of the love and so forth. And so that's my mentality. I want to open them up, right? I just think I want to open up for you. I want to open that love up and show you that love. And so I have that syndrome I'm trying to let go of, or at least give it to the right people. So, but maybe I like that challenge. And like, I see someone that needs love and I just want to give them love. I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing, but it's painful for me, but at the same time, it puts me in a state of love. I'm like, well, you're not giving me any love back, but I'm giving you love. So I enjoy that. It's a weird, I used to think I was masochistic, but then I'm realizing maybe I'm not so masochistic. Maybe just giving those love who don't have it, who don't feel it.
I understand. I identify with that. No, I totally understand.
You're an empath, yeah. You know what that's like, right?
I get it.
Yeah. And so, but what we usually get in return is this. No more. Stop. No. I can't take it more.
I'm not your bitch. Don't hang your shit on me.
You see the movement? I did it on cue.
Oh my god. Oh my god, my throat. This is hilarious. Yeah. I have had an entire shot of Dayquil. Dayquil, NyQuil.
Look at this. I'm sweating. Look at that.
I'm
sweating.
I would be sweating too. It's the lights. We have lights on us. We have lights.
I do have the lights on. I do, but I shut the windows. It's really cool outside, but I shut the windows because it's very windy out, so I didn't want that to distract.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, just to wrap things up too, because I could stay on the phone with you for days and just days. We've catching up on literally. But what is something that you wish people knew about you that they don't? Like if Scott said, you know what, you might think you know me, but you really don't know me, what would something like that be for you?
I'm actually very humble. I think a lot of people think I'm very arrogant or stuck up. Remember Anthony Berger?
Yes.
We were close, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're so sweet." He's like, "I hated you before I knew you." I'm like, I said, "Why would you hate me before you knew me? I thought you were stuck up and that arrogant, and I realized you're really nice and sweet." I'm like, I said, I still have that problem, and it's like, people don't give me a chance because of that. Because I'm very sensual or sexual, people think that's all I'm really good for. So I have an insecurity about that of just being needed for sex and nothing more. So I don't think people think I hurt.
I wish I had that problem. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, I've been doing it for both of us, so you don't want it anymore. I've done enough for both of us.
Oh my God. No, I could.
But people don't think I hurt, and I think that's when I am hurting. Then people don't seem to take it seriously. They think, "Oh, Scott's got it taken care of. He's fine. He doesn't need help." It's like, no, I'm a human. You know, I'm going through human issues like everybody else. All because I have certain abilities doesn't mean I'm not a human being. And so sometimes people don't treat me that way as a human being, especially when I first meet them for the first time. And so, yeah, and sometimes it hurts. I want people to know I am humble. I hurt. You know, I get challenged with things just as much.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if I didn't get challenged with things, how the fuck can I help people in my life?
That's true. That's
true.
So
that to me, that is a huge thing. For me, is that the misinterpretation of that's what they want people to know is that I don't think I'm the shit like to other people. Like I'm confident, I like who I am, but I take better shits than I do thinking about being the shit.
Amen. Look, the bottle, Dayquil.
I thought we would be funnier than this. We're actually it's been very kind of serious.
But, has it? Ooh, it's been very deep and mystical. I kind of love it. And then
I think people need that. I think people need that right now.
No, they totally do. And this question, because I'm very tapped into this, and I know you are too. How do you deal with people who just don't believe in the metaphysical? That they just don't believe. What would you tell them? Oh, I don't believe in, spirit. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that. They don't believe in anything. They have no passion in life. Let's put it that way.
That's what I asked. But that's what I asked him. I said, what do you believe in? I said, well, you believe in nothing. You don't believe in anything. So how does that work for you? I tell them that. How does that work for you? And I say, so if they're thinking that their brain is creating their experiences, I said, well, who's programming the brain? So, and at first I asked them, do you believe in consciousness? So people who are just stupid, like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, we can have a conversation. Well, I would say, yeah, I believe in consciousness. I said, well, what do you think consciousness is? If you have consciousness and the brain processes its own thing. You can see you have two aspects of yourself. There's this brain that's kind of running like in the background. It's like on autopilot. Then you have this being that's like trying to control the brain. That being is your consciousness. Mm-hmm. And so whatever's behind your brain is what soul is what spirit is. It's imagination. It's your mind. And so I tell people, if you close your eyes, can you not vision yourself and feel yourself somewhere else? Of course can. I said, well, what is that space called then? How is your mind able to send a signal to itself and say, this is what it looks and feels like, if your brain is actually sending a signal to your senses to give that imagery? So what's going on in the imaginative space? That's your consciousness. So if you don't necessarily need the brain or your senses to experience any type of reality or experience, then what the hell is that? That's your consciousness, right? So if you don't need the brain to experience reality or experiences, you can actually just use your consciousness alone. So when you detach
I think I lost him.
in the physical format through the physical body. And when I tell people, now what you need to understand is that is a filtration system to filter out different dimensionalities. So your eyes are not giving you eyes to see, it's limiting what you see in reality. It's, same with your ears, it's not so you can hear, it's limiting what you hear in reality. So I tell people that first. I said, how can you explain thinking something without it being in physical reality and feeling the pain of something you just imagine? Mm-hmm. How can you experience sensation of something you just imagine?
So what do they say? So how do people respond when you say that?
How do you explain intuitive connections? How do you explain, the music and putting emotion into things? How do you explain that energy? You know what I'm saying? That's not mechanical, right? I said, it just doesn't make sense. I said, if we have no spirit and there's no conscious or observation afterwards, then what is this all for? This brilliant design of a world, what is it for? If we don't get to look back on it and there's no other supreme energy looking back on it, why are we trying to be good people then? What's this built-in morale to be a good person then? Why do we have desires to follow if it's all going to go to shit anyways and there's no reflection of it? Does that make any logical sense? So whether you believe in spirituality or not, just the fact that there's nothing other than another perspective than physical perspective, it's just dumb. Just limiting, because it means that this all is completely meaningless. Mm-hmm. It means you don't create, we're bound to reality. And so usually people who say that are victims, or have the victimization mentality, because then they start thinking they're victims of life.
Oh my God.
Oh no, I'm bound here.
I agree. I did an entire podcast on being a victim and what the victim mentality is all about. And I tell you what.
Because then you start thinking that you're a victim to life. Or you get so shut down to those things. Like even religion has caused people to believe this. So shut down, that ain't true, nothing exists. We just die and that's it, we're done.
It's insane. No, it really is.
It's just fear talking.
It is. It's fear.
It's just fear talking, saying, "Oh, I'm so victimized. We're just not all this is meaningless then. So therefore, I can't be hurt because it doesn't mean anything anyway." And they're really hurting themselves even more because they're depriving themselves of actual life and connection and integration using their spirit and their true essence. They're robbing themselves of life, so they're hurting themselves.
I have I have yes or no questions for you really quickly before we go. Which I think is a great ending to this because this was so much fun and I just want to hug you. Yes or no, do you catch yourself singing in the shower?
Fuck yeah, I always sing. I sing everywhere I do.
So do you sing your own songs or you sing other people's songs in the shower?
Fuck, I sing my own shit. I sing everything.
Okay. What is
I love this. I love the stuff I create. So I create music that I would listen to. So I actually love my stuff too. So I put my songs on a playlist and listen to it. I love my stuff when it comes on. I love it. You know, it's so. But yeah, I'm singing. I'm always singing.
And what do you do to unwind? So, like when your mind has been focusing and you've been in and out of the spiritual realm and in and out of music, what do you do to kind of relax?
Nature. My view in the back is fucking incredible. So I just look at the mountain, sit back and chill. I played Mortal Kombat.
That's awesome! Mortal Kombat!
Online. I play Mortal Kombat online. I play Stupid Brats online.
That's awesome.
And then, of course, meditation is something that's really good. I'm not a huge meditation guru with that stuff, but I do it today with this calm of mind. I just remind myself of who I am. And I think it's important for everybody to know that if you get hung up over a person, a situation, a job, whatever the case is, you forgot who you are. You gotta remind yourself, who are you? Get kooky. So that's when I usually, like, if I'm like, you know, stressed out about something or something that's take my power back, I go work out like crazy, build my body. I go back to building my body, go back to, you know, doing what I know builds my foundation. And if people could think of one thing, right? When they're stressed out, they're projecting their energy outwardly to those things. So they're losing their power. They need to imagine, let me bring that energy inward. Let me bring that energy inward into myself and keep it there inwardly. You'll be surprised how quickly you start forgetting about those external things. You really start focusing on yourself just by imagining, directing your energy inward and stop projecting it outwardly. That's a very powerful technique. So self-reflection is amazing. You should definitely be doing a lot more self-reflection in those moments that you feel powerless because you're just giving it away. And if you actually knew and saw you giving your power away to someone, you would not do it.
It's true.
But people need to understand those stresses is the evidence that you're doing it. And ask yourself, does that person, place, or thing warrant that power to give away from you? So many women in relationships, and women, because guys are good at walking away from relationships. Women are more sensitive, so they're like, "But I love him." I'm like, "But do you though? Do you really want to take your energy and invest it all into that when they're not investing any energy to you? Just keep it simple." I said. Well, no. I'm like, we're starting. Yeah. At least we're starting from somewhere. Like, they have to realize that.
And it's that simple. It really is that simple.
Too many people are on like just they're responding by default to things. They're not really consciously thinking, assessing. They're just responding by default. You know what I mean? And so I'm sorry to be preachy about this, but that's a very important thing about unwind. I think a lot of people are having issues right now trying to unwind and get back to their power because all these things are happening in our world today. Everyone's projecting all their energy to all these different things. They're losing the self. And if everybody focuses on what's going on and everybody loses themselves, our world is going to crumble. The only way this world can stay strong and stay afloat is if we all focus on the self first. Because when you get the self, grounded and aligned first, then it's a natural expression to help and share it with others. And it'll be done correctly and in tune and in order with the universe, not in your own ego. I want people to hear that loud and clear because people need to hear that today more than ever.
It's so true. We've been going through it very trials and tribulations this last year. I think this last year has been amazing for me in so many ways. If I take the positive from it, it really has. It has been
This is a great awakening.
It has.
It's a great awakening.
Absolutely.
So if you're doing that, a lot of us are seeing the callings, right? A lot of us are seeing the callings to wake up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
A lot of people have seen the calling. This is a great awakening for me to change my life and to do whatever they want. A lot of us have realized that. And so it's going to skyrocket for you. Mm-hmm. But so many people, I wrote this in my song, actually, back in 2016, the world's diverging into two. And it is. Those who are taking advantage of the universe versus those who want to remain in fear, promoting fear-like agendas. You could see that divide right now. So absolutely for you, it's becoming amazing because you felt that great awakening. Like I'm focusing on what I need to for me. And so it's the universe will take you as far as you want to go and quickly. Things will manifest a lot quicker in this time frame because of that now.
Ooh, I like that. I just got red.
Yeah.
Ah, I
Yeah.
love it.
I'm saying the speed of manifestation is going to be a lot quicker during these periods, and you'll start seeing the speed of manifestation happen a lot quicker too. I'm sure you've probably seen it already. You think about stuff, and it just comes to fruition,
Yes,
comes to
it's
life.
been happening like crazy in the last week. It's just been like boom, 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 boom.
And when you start getting used to that, then you start being that comfortable with the bigger things in life happening for you quicker. And so the bigger things will start coming quickly, and that'll be a no-brainer. You'll be like, that's normal to me.
Wow.
So that's where we're going as far as in this collective awareness of reality is we're all going to that stage of, you know what, we could actually conjure thought, imagine that, align with that, and come to fruition rather quickly, and quicker than you would have thought, and processes you would never have imagined. And so when we're open to that, that's where life is in flow. And I say that's the great awakening.
That's so
and that's
powerful.
why you have but just think, for every yin there's a yang. So that's why this great awakening, there's also equal opposition with negativity coming at us too, if you think about it.
Always. The haters are
Equal opposition.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not just haters. It's just reality. There's going to be equal negative. So you have that grinding in this reality, and then we're waking up, and it's equal grinding coming at you. That's just this reality. That's how this reality is designed. So as much as that darkness is there, that's a celebration for positive actually happening on the other side of it.
So, and in conclusion, if you want to tell people something to leave them on a note of what they could be doing right now, let's say they've been quarantined, they're home, they've been depressed, they're not in a good headspace. Let's say
if they want to ask them when they say they're not in a good headspace, who put them in that headspace? How did they get to the headspace to begin with? Their mind brought them there, so their mind can bring them out of it, right? So if you have all this time to spend with yourself, why aren't you? Why aren't you? Because there's so much time that you can actually learn more about your thinking, how you're thinking. Right. You can hear yourself of how you're deciding to process certain things. Listen to yourself. Watch yourself, how you're encoding life. And that's what this quarantine is about. How are you actually processing things in your life that you realize, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be processing things that way. What am I doing? We all have the time and space to do it, and so we should start doing it. But a lot of people don't want to put the effort into doing that when it's just a simple shift of mindset. But you're thinking anyways, I tell people. You're imagining anyway. Think in your favor. Imagine in your favor. Assume reality in your favor. People do it so much in their disservice of themselves. And it happens. They say, oh, see, I told you. I'm like, of course you told me. You created this shit.
So true. It's so true, Scott.
Think in your favor. I said, be your number one fan. Talk in your favor. And I say, people don't need psychics, mediums. People need a coach. You need someone to say, you can do it. You got this. You can get it. You'll get the knowledge. You'll get the information. You need to encourage yourself on your own, by yourself. Because if you can't encourage yourself, don't expect it to happen anywhere outside of you.
It's so true.
Because if they do it to you, you will not be open to. You won't believe their encouragement. Someone else who doesn't know you will encourage you. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't know. Because you have to get yourself in the right mindset.
Yeah.
The way to do that is to coach yourself. Some people say fake it till you make it. That's fine. Just see that you're growing, you're coaching yourself. It's way easy to change your life and to get life to be working in your favor than people imagine. Because if it's easy to develop some sort of illness that comes out of nowhere because you're in fear 95% of your life, well, it's easy to heal it. It's easier to get rid of it and to get healthy.
And that is words of a true, wise friend of over 20 years that I love so dearly. I can't wait to go and visit you and kiss you and give you a little tug on the butt. Used to grab my butt because it's still big. You can grab my butt. You can.
I got a donkey donk.
Oh, please listen. 4 of my asses fit one of you. Like it's like a heart shape. You know, it's like a heart shape. So you can make me like a fruit salad in the shape of a nice heart when I come and see you. It's all out of love. I love you, Scotty. Thank you so much for being on Skulls and Stilettos, and I adore you. You're my favorite, just one of my favorite beings ever. I just adore you. You too. I mean, you've always been like a soul. You're like a soulmate. Soulmates are people that you travel with, right? So you've always been one of my soulmates, for sure. I would say you're kind of like a twin flame because you and I are like the identical, halves of each other. We're both the best we're both like twisted and fun and sadistic and masochist and fun and
caring and
caring
loving.
And right. We're the whole thing. And you're an Aquarian, right?
Yeah. What are you? We just.
I'm a Gemini. I'm a Gemini.
Gemini. Oh, that's right. Gemini.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why. That
Yeah.
makes perfect sense.
We get along, and both my parents were Aquarians. My dad was February 5th, and my mother was February 13th.
I remember that. I
Aren't
think
you
have
February
cancer in you,
2nd?
though.
Are you February 2nd?
Yeah, February 2nd.
How do I
Yeah.
remember that? I don't
Because
know.
everyone remembers that. It's a Groundhog's Day. I think you have some Cancer in your chart, though. Do your chart. I think you have something ruling in Cancer. I could feel that. There's a Cancer energy that comes to you too.
Roy is Cancer. He's a Cancer. He's always with me.
Yeah, but you have Cancer. I can sense you have Cancer in your chart. So there might be either rising Cancer or some sort of a dominant moon. Isn't something? I don't know much about astrology. I just know there's a Cancer energy that you must be. Like I'm Aquarius, but I'm Virgo rising, which explains my free spirited yet very neurotic mind. So I'm kind of balanced by the two. But there's a Cancer in you too.
Wow, I love that. I'm a little.
You might be ruled. You might be ruled by Cancer.
Ooh, I'm gonna check it out.
Which explains your sensitivity and that kind of grounds your aloofness as a Gemini.
I like being aloof.
But I don't do astrology. I just the Cancer thing is somewhere in your chart. I can sense that.
Scott, I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you.
Mwah,
I know.
mwah, mwah. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you soon.
Hey, go listen to Scott Cruz on iTunes and Spotify.
Yes.
My latest song, "The Reason," is out there, and yeah.
Say it again. Where
that's
you can
that's
find
my plug.
Spotify and
iTunes.
Scott Cruz, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! You need to clap in the audience.